Hi, my name's Sue and this is Sue Maree, and today I'm going to share some strawberry muffins made with delicious Swedish strawberries. Strawberries are so good here at the moment, and I wanted to make a muffin recipe to use up some leftover strawberries last few weeks ago, and so I wanted to share this delicious moist strawberry spelt muffin recipe with you, and I top it with a little bit of pistachio and pearl sugar just for fun. So let's get mixing. So I'm over at my bench and I've got everything ready to go. So in this large bowl, I'm going to pop in the white spelt flour. I haven't tried this recipe with whole grain flour yet, and that's 1 cup plus 3/4. And we're just going to pop in some, I've got in here some vanilla sugar, 2 teaspoons. I wanted to do it a little bit Swedish style, so I've got a teaspoon of cardamom and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. So that's all my flavours. And then we need to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's the wrong one. No. So I've just thrown in there the baking powder plus the cardamom and salt. And now I've got the vanilla sugar. So this is what's called vanilla soccer or vanilla sugar. And it's really popular in Europe. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that. If you can't get that, you can add just vanilla extract or essence. There's not much sugar in this recipe because the vanilla sugar is a little bit sweet, so I'm only adding in 1/4 cup of just white sugar. And I'm doing the wet and dry method, which is perfect for muffins. So that's all just whisked together. So pop that to one side and grab a beaker, a jug, small bowl, and we're going to do olive oil. I didn't have any butter when I first made this recipe, so I did it with olive oil, but you can use melted butter or whatever oil you like. So in here we have 60 mils or 1/4 cup. And I'm using oat milk because that's what I have in the house. That's 125 mils I'm pouring in, which is 1/2 cup. And there'll be some Fahrenheit measurements above. And there'll be some other measurements above. And in there I'm putting 1 large egg. That's a whole egg. And then I'm just going to whisk that together. And you can mix and match the spices. I just decided to add a little bit of a twist, so I added the cardamom. And the other thing I added to it as well is a little bit of lemon zest. So I've got my lemon zest here. So I've zested, I had quite a large lemon, but I'm only going to put in half zest of the lemon. I don't want it to overpower the recipe. But that's optional, you can leave it out if you don't want it. We're going to throw in all of that liquid. And let's mix it together with the spatula. And I found that the mixture was quite thick, and because I was making it up as I went, I thought, oh no, I need to add more milk. But before I did that, I thought I'm going to throw in some of the strawberries because the strawberries have a lot of moisture. And then I didn't really need any more liquid. So now I've prepared my strawberries. So in here I've chopped up 1 cup of strawberries, or 150 grams. And I've chopped them finely, and I've had them sitting on some paper towel. So that releases some of the moisture. But I'm not going to put all of them in. I'm just going to put half of them in. So half of the strawberries. And then I'm going to add the rest of them after I pop them in the muffin tray. And then that means that the strawberries are more evenly spaced and they don't all sink to the bottom. I'm just folding those in. The next tip is I'm going to scoop out the batter and pop it into the muffin tray. Now, because I wanted to make quite large ones, I decided to not make them small, and I filled up only 8. But if you wanted to have more, you could double the recipe. So I'm just doing them halfway, then I go back and top them up. We want the level to be about 3/4 full. So all the batter's used up. The next thing is we need to add these extra strawberries to the top. Just grab another spoon and just pop more strawberries on top. And then when the muffins rise, these won't all stay on top, but they'll look really pretty because you'll have strawberries on top of the muffins. I like to put them kind of close to the middle. So they look pretty good. The next step is we're going to add, just for colour, I'm adding a few of the pistachios. These are slivered pistachios I got from the grocer, just because I love red and green. They do lose a little bit of their colour once they're baked, but I did about 2 teaspoons over the 8 muffins. And the crunch is fun. And then something that's very Swedish is pearl sugar. So just add a little bit of that to the top. We could do regular sugar, raw sugar, leave it off. But again, it adds to the delicious crunch. And now I'm ready to bake my strawberry muffins in my warm oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, but I like to keep an eye on them. And if they're ready at 20 minutes, I bring them out. They just need to be golden but cooked in the middle, and I can check them with a little skewer. Stick around because I'll do a taste test at the end. My strawberry muffins are all baked, and you might notice that they're not so brown on top when you bake them at home. Because we don't have much sugar in the recipe, it doesn't tend to caramelize the top, even though we've put the pearl sugar on. But I love them and they're still great. But if you wanted to pop your oven up slightly higher for the last 5 minutes, you can. I've added a little bit of pearl sugar right towards the end, just so I've got a little bit more color. Let's do a taste test. Okay, the muffins are better, even better once they cool down and the next day. They kind of come into their own, but I'm going to try and taste one now for you. I'm just going to grab a spoon. I've got my teaspoon. That's delicious. I haven't had my lunch yet, but look at that. They're so lovely and moist, and they're not too sweet. If you wanted them slightly sweeter, you could add a little bit more sugar, but because I like them for breakfast, I don't want them too sweet. Just going to have another little bite. And you've got the moisture and sweetness from the strawberries, and you've got the crunch on top, which is great. If you're looking for a spelt muffin recipe that's not too sweet with strawberries, give this one a go. If you clicked on for the first time, thank you. Welcome. Consider subscribing, hit the bell, and then you get notified when I've got a new video. I do 2 videos a week. Stick around, I'll pop some other recipe ideas up above for muffins or just spelt baking. Thanks again for watching. Bye. Yum, yum, yum.